5-6 minutes or so. She'll be on. So we give God thanks for her. We thank God. Minister Veronica is not coming on today because she has urgent matter to take care of. And we want to thank God for Minister Doris for taking the time out to come again because I know she's very busy too. So thank you. And Minister Rebecca, Becky, who is here with us every Thursday, every evening at 2:30. We give God thanks. I'm kind of things is all over the place, and I can't stand when I have things too close to me. It's bothered my nerves. But anyway, see how I can bear it out and move them just now. So I want to start the show. What we want to talk about is understanding others. I did a course on that when I was many moons, years out. So I want to talk about understanding people and what we perceive that they be saying and how we characterize them and judge them based on what they say and not understanding there is pain behind the hurts. So how do we really understand people? Do we really understand when somebody say the word? They may use words like "give me a break" or or "leave me alone." It sounds harsh, right? But do they really mean to give me a break or just leave me alone? They need for you to stop. Don't say anything to them, but listen. And they will ram from rage and ram from rage. It's not you to try to diagnose in and between what they're thinking and what they're saying. Only God knows somebody's heart and mind, what they think. We only know what they speak. But if you're with the gift of discernment and the many gifts that God has given to you, the insight of others, you may understand what they're saying in what they're not saying. So in studying your church and others, that's a book that I have, and one day I'll bring it out and I'll let Pastor Fleming teach us, go back into that book, and we would understand the church and understand others. I hope I did not lend out minds because that's what I want to teach on. So I'm gonna have to go pay another $90 just to get back that book with all the pamphlets and whatever it come with. So we want to talk about that today and how we perceive what people is saying, because it have some people, they can be a best friend and they will say, nah, um, this person would never say that because I know them and this is what they're gonna say. And probably when they say that, this is what they mean. You ever hear some wife says use this quote. Um, I don't want to take funds from here and put it there because my husband, as soon as he come and he get to know, then he's going to be so angry. And then when he come, it's not that he get angry, but because you already speak it, the devil here. So when he come now, and you try to explain to him, or never tell him nothing, and he don't know for 2-3 weeks until he has a bill to pay, and he may ask, "Where's the money?" And then the wife is going to say, "See what I say? I know you always get angry." No, nobody always. We seldom do. And those are the myth I want us to take out in our head. Like when you say that, I know you actually mean this, but this is what I hear. Depending on somebody's state of mind, you can say to them, "I love you." And because of where they are, they hear the word "I love you," but they say, "Well, you just saying that you like me because." So they don't really hear the full sentence. And you cannot blame somebody on what they hear or how they interpret what you say to them. Some people have selective hearing. Some people have, they go into this situation where they hear the same as selective, but in a different format. They twist the words. So you have some people that hear and twist things. Yeah. And then it have some people that's genuine, but they will say what you say, and then they'll add the onions and the split peas and the soup and dumplings and corn just to come to say what you have to say. That's how some people act. If you really read the book of Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, You will see the difference in the writing, but they all say the same thing, just different ways, because that's how they see it, that's how they experience it. So when God tell them something, they just write. Because Paul say, sometimes I write on premise. Paul was the honest one that come out and say it. He writes on assumption. That's what I believe he is saying to me. So let's go into it. Have you ever been in a place where you're being misunderstood, and how did you handle being misunderstood? Oh my God, I've been there every day. Okay, so let's go there. Gemfm is on what? So we're not on Facebook Live. Doris is responsible for that. Doris, where are we? Are we on Facebook, Doris?
I shared on Facebook, so we should be.
Share, because I get something here and it says the sheriff is on. It's on, it's on, it's on YouTube. That's what happened when you start late.
Maybe he's looking at it on another platform that it shared.
It's on. It's live because I'm watching it now.
Oh yeah, I'm watching it too, but I'm watching it on YouTube.
Well, I'm watching it on Facebook. See?
Huh?
See?
What kind of phone is that? I like the size of the phone.
It's on Facebook. On Facebook, it's live. We have 3 people watching.
Yeah, I'm just getting it here. I have to turn it on here. Yep, it's on. I love your phone. You have a big phone. People is watching. The colors is distorted, but the color is not here distorted. It's probably just there. No problem. Okay, so let's go back on assumptions. Rebecca, I'll start. I'm with you because I was starting with other people.
Can you hear me? Because it looks like you're breaking up.
Where you watching? I'm breaking up. Go ahead.
Okay, I think you're better now because you're just breaking up a while ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead then.
Yeah. Assumptions. What can I say about assumptions?
How do you hear people when they talk?
I think
a statement. Do you assume what they're saying, or do you know what they're saying? Do you understand what they're saying?
No, I think with normally I do understand what they're saying, but I think over time I read into mostly their behavior than what they actually say. Like the tone of voice.
That is the word.
The tone of voice and their emotions, I read into that more than I read into what someone says. Probably I get in trouble because of that. Because I think I might think the person might say things in my interests, but then I might take it as something else. But I think it's
that's the word. So you're prejudging and conversation before it even takes place.
No, because I base it on not what they say, but their behavior.
It's not good. That's
It
prejudging.
is, but it is good when you see if someone is telling you, you know, how do you say, you're always rude. You know, it's like, then I'm gonna like, okay, I care that you said I'm always rude, but the attitude is like you're being it's their behavior or their emotions is what really.
So that's what we're gonna change today, because you're listening on assumption. I'm gonna change our habit today. Learn to take people's words as words and not if they're doing like this, I don't like that. This does only mean that they're talking with action. That's what it means. If they're saying it loud, you don't know where they are and they speak loud or it protrude. Or if they're in front of you and it says, what I asked you, could you just move that? It's not because the person is angry, because they're probably extrovert. Extroverts speak loud. Yeah. So you have to stop prejudging people. So that's one of the words that the book talk about. Don't prejudge. When you prejudge, you perceive what people is saying. And until you understand and know what they're telling you, you gotta listen to hear what they're saying. And then when they finish, then you can say, oh, okay, sure. Doris?
Good afternoon, everyone. With assumptions, I think most of the times we make assumption probably because when somebody's talking, we don't pay full attention to what they're saying. Sometimes we interrupt the conversation, miss some of the keywords, and then because we miss that keyword of what they were trying to get across, sometimes we make the wrong assumption. Like me, if I'm looking at a movie and I don't hear the words on the movie, some people just watch and they keep talking but don't listen to the words. I would not understand that movie unless I hear what they say, because that describes what it's all about, what they are talking about, and the interpretation of the movie. So a lot of times we do, and it's a habit because I'll be talking to people and then they just cut across the conversation. They don't let you finish. Then they make the whole own assumption, but they never listen to the whole story that you're telling. So now they're making an assumption based on part of what they hear. So I find it's important that when somebody's talking, I pay attention and listen to the keywords, because just a little word you might miss, you can make a whole wrong assumption about what they were trying to tell you. Because every word you say describes what you're talking about, and it's key to what you're saying. So like sometimes I'll be talking to somebody and then I talk and say something and they goes, well, no, that's not what I meant, or that's what, then they tell me what they said. I'll listen to the full thing. I'll say, oh, well, I didn't hear that part. So this is why I say when people talking, it's important to let them talk and pay attention to what they say. Sometimes when people talk to us, we hear there and all over the place. And we don't hear everything they say. We only hear part of it. So I think in order not to make judgment on our assumption, we must hear everything. If we don't hear, ask a question again and get the full story before we make accusation or criticize. And, and we mustn't judge what people saying, because sometimes people is talking, but we don't see the pain and sorrow behind what they are saying or what they're trying to tell us. They look happy, they're smiling, but because you're not paying full attention, we cannot make an assumption as to something is off or this is not like that person. Because if you really know someone, you can tell when the mood is different, when they, that something is off. Like if I know you, Tex, I know you're always happy, you're always jolly, you always go lucky. But then today I see you not that way. You're a little, I'm going to say, okay, this is not like Tex. Something seems a little off. I wonder what's wrong. So it's important to know somebody, and when they're talking to us, pay attention. I know a lot of people who does that. Sometimes I'm talking, I'm like, could you let me finish? You saying, I say you saying something based, but you didn't hear the whole story. So just listen, then tell me what you think or what So I think that's important. I think that's important.
It's a very important conversation and topic to have today, because what we're trying to do today and what we will be doing is bringing awareness to people. Hence the reason why I may say to you, I don't like when the room is untidy, especially when the clothes is on the floor. Somebody's gonna hear that, and then they'll say, "Oh my God, she disrespect." And the person, she says, "Oh, she can stand the clothes in them." Did I say that? And I would say no. And the person's gonna say, "But you're lying. You did say it." I said, "Yeah, I did, but I don't know what you said, because what you say is not what I said." And I want us to be like that, because sometimes, and that's where we find we get ourselves in trouble with the police is going to come to you and they will ask you a question. They may ask you, "Where were you on Thursday night?" "Oh, well, Wednesday, I was by Carol, and then what? Thursday, I was down by Carol, and she had a guy there, and both of them was fighting, and then the guy left and he walked outside. He come back in, he take a knife." Nobody asks you those questions. Nobody asks those questions. And we got to learn to stick on what somebody say to us and what people ask us. That's why a lot of families get into hissy fits, because they assume that's what you said. That's what you said. And they will mix you with it. When you tell them, "That's not what I said," they call you a liar. You add to it. You say, "I didn't say that. This is what I said, and this is what I expect you to say." Exactly what I said. "Well, it was very close anyway." No, it's not. It's close. It can't be close. Say what I said. And that's why people getting into all kind of mixture.
Like, I think you're frozen.
I'm frozen.
Yep, you're not moving.
Now?
You're still frozen. You've been
still
frozen.
frozen.
I'm frozen for a while.
Yeah,
so
you're still.
I'm still frozen?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, now I'm seeing you moving. Now you're good.
Could see me now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It looks like your internet been having this issue for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they came, was it yesterday or so, day before?
Yeah, but
no, yesterday.
Yesterday.
Every day is the same problem with them. And then when I tell them, they tell me, "Well, they can't find the problem." They're going to find it, because I called them back today and let them know it happened again. So this is why you find a lot of people misinterpret what people say. And then because they misinterpret, they get other people in trouble, because they never take time to listen. And this society that we are in is very, very, very pronounced. A lot of people, they don't take time to hear you. I don't know if it is a chemical imbalance. I don't know what it is, but people are so busy, and then somebody is talking to you and you texting. That means they turn you off here. So if you see somebody is on their phone, please don't talk to them. Just stop talking, because once you start talking and they're texting, what you doing, you throwing them off. So whatsoever they texting, by the time they send the message out, the other person going to say, "What is that message?" "Yeah, I was texting you when somebody was talking." When I'm texting, I'm totally zoom off. So you talking, but what I am hearing is I'm not hearing anything. Like you're not speaking clear, and it's very annoying. And that's something that we all got to learn, that some people could They can be around you and not hear you. They can be around you and seeing you, watching you. Then I hear nothing that you're saying. I know some people, I'm like that. I wouldn't call names. Unless I get into trouble, I would prefer not to call names about the individual. That's all I'm saying. They don't hear nothing and they just listen and they listen. You think that they're listening? They already don't zoom you off a long time. I know the person. Once upon a time, I used to know that person, but unfortunately, I don't know the person for today. If they change or if it's still there, sometimes. So let us be careful with the things that we do around people. How do you understand people? Rebecca. Oh, post.
I don't really know how to really understand people. I think to understand people, it takes a lot of courage and self-discipline to really understand someone.
Really?
Yes.
Or is it because I who asking the questions?
No. Understanding people, I think it's really difficult to understand people.
Mm. Okay.
Don't you agree, Doris?
Well, there is a lot of different ways, in understanding people depending on who they are. Because being with a spouse or a sibling that you're in the same house with, you get to know the habits, you get to know the ways, so you have a better understanding of them. But somebody on the outside that you're just friends with, you hang around with every so often now and then, you know them a bit, but you don't really understand everything, that they do or who they are, because you don't interact with them as much as you would with somebody who you live, together with, or that you interact with every day or talk to every day. So if you do, then you get to understand that person a bit better by talking to them all the time, talking about different things, different ideas. You start getting a feeling of their thought or who they are. You might have the same things in common, things that you talk about, hobbies, any kind of thing. But like a coworker or somebody like that, you wouldn't really, you work with them. Mm-hmm. So you know who they are at work, but you don't understand who they are on the outside or in their home or in places like that. So it all depends on the individual. So there's a lot of different ways of understanding each person or each individual. So that I would say, like I have a best friend, when I lived in New York. We hang out, we used to, go everywhere, do things together. And we have been friends for over 40 something years. So I know, when we talk about something, I would understand because I know her habits, because we spent a lot of time together. So as a friend, have an understanding of her, where she coming from when she talks about things. But with somebody else, a coworker might call me and they'll tell me something. I hear what they're saying, but I don't know the other side, because they say to every side to every story there is three sides. Mm-hmm. So I may hear yours, I know mine, but I did not hear the person I don't know the person you're talking about. So I can't make an assumption or a judgment based on that, because I have no idea who they're talking about. They're only telling me their views of what they're talking about. So there is a lot of different ways, and, to get to know people is being around them, paying attention, learning things about them, where they come from, the history, a little bit about the background, what you have in common, things you can share, So that's a wide, a wide topic with understanding people. It's a very, very wide topic on that.
Okay. So you understand people by seeing them, by interacting, and also understand the personality type. To understand somebody fast is knowing what are their personality traits. Because on every personality traits, they have the strengths and the weakness. So when you study a person, you how you see them, you ask God, is it a sanguine? You will know an extrovert from a distance. You will know an extrovert that is a social butterfly. And you know an extrovert that is an extrovert, but they still have this kind of passive way about them. Or they have kind of little introvert yeah, I'm in them. I'm an extrovert to the extreme home. When I'm outside, I'm not. Why? I don't know. I'll talk about storm in the house. When I go out, I am very iffy. Should I talk? Should I not talk? And people will watch me and says, "Is everything okay?" And nobody likes when I'm quiet. If you don't like when I'm quiet, you're extrovert. Yeah, but I have to get to know you, or if I'm doing something, I'm with you personally, then you will see my full glory come out. The full extrovert, the full introvert side of me, you'll get to know because there are times that I just love quietness. My side of my extrovert, I cannot take loud people. I cannot stand loud people around me for too long. It bothers me. It bothers my nerves. I just can't take noise. And I'm an extrovert. And people, I'm gonna say, what? You're an extrovert, you don't like no? No, we do. Some extroverts don't like competition, and I'm one of them. If people talk more than me, it's a competition, and I will just don't talk. And they ask me why, because I just don't like the other person. It's simple like that, which is not right, but that's how some extroverts are. My son is an extrovert with a social butterfly life. So he would not take a second to know you and be best friend. You know, mom, that's my best friend. You just see the person. Yeah, but I'm telling you, that's my best friend. Okay, no problem. No problem. That's just him. He don't shut up. He dance, he sing for everybody. He will dance in front of you. You will carry on. But not me. He said that I'm shy. I'm not shy. I, I just have introverts habits that comes out when it's not supposed to come out. So it perceive that I'm shy, but I'm not shy. If me and Alan go out and people ask him if I'm his mom, you see me kind of shy to go back and stand up in the back of him because I don't want people to know. So I just kind of, I'm shy. I'm not shy, but I'm an introvert that way. So not all extroverts are extrovert outside. They extrovert just inside. They have that loud quality because I can speak up a storm here, but if I come to you now to have an outside meeting, it's going to be totally different. You hear me? I slow down a lot. I will take my time, and I wouldn't be that panicky. I would try to take my time and talk so you could understand me, and
Mhm.
then I speak very docile.
Mhm.
But otherwise, I'm just an extrovert on the extrovert side. So we don't know how to stay in the middle. Like somebody may say something to us, like, why are you so loud? We hear that. But what we actually hear is like, I just don't like loud people. That's what we hear. And then to us, we go like, okay, so I don't have to talk to you. So you see how far we take it to the extreme. We don't want to, well, okay, well, then just let me quiet down myself. We take it all extreme. Extrovert take things, if it's left, they take it far left. If it's right, they take it far right until they get to that age of understanding or something click. You will hear they say, oh, I will try to speak soft, but it does not work. I may start off soft, and then when by the time I get to the third time of the conversation, I'm just rattling on, and the person do like this. What? And I say, oh, probably I'm talking too fast. So just gotta slow down. Because sometimes I speak very fast. Sometimes
Mhm.
depends on who I speak very slow. I just take my time and talk. But if I find you don't understand what I'm saying, I'm just gonna rattle over you and then I just walk away because that means that I have no interest in what you're saying.
Mhm.
So we are very cold like that, but we are very loving people. Extroverts are loving people. There's some extrovert that is melancholy, where they watch you, they listen to you, but they judge you. In the midst of your conversation, they just judge you. Underneath, shy, passive. What is she saying? Is that making sense? And so they turn their head like that. So I'm not a kind of extrovert. Don't judge my conversation. I just making sure that you hear exactly what I'm saying and you would understand. Before we leave this conversation, you would understand exactly what I said to you. So that's just how I am. I like clarity. So Doris, what kind of personality you have so that I can understand you more?
That's a good question. I've never really thought about it.
So we have homework. Doris gonna go on Google and find out what's her personality traits. It's very easy and to find out what's your personality traits. They give you what 2 pages of 9 questions each, or 14 questions each on 2 pages. And the 3rd page now is where you calculate it. And when you calculate it, it's gonna say sanguine. I may say extrovert, go. You know you're a social butterfly. You know you're not. You're a rebel without a cause. That's my son. So we should learn to do that and learn about your birth order. It's important to know those things because when you know those things and you come across different type of people, you'll be able to settle down regardless of who the person are and their temperaments. The reason why I took that course and I learned a lot intense on that is because I'm a people person. If somebody is hurting, you see, my heart will just kind of, I'm a people person. I cry with you. You just want to cry, we cry for the whole time. No problem crying. So
well, I'm that person. I am definitely that person.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, our hearts is and that's I'm compassion, the gift of compassion. For no reason, the person that you just call a person and they start talking, you will suddenly stop. Not stop to assume what they think, what you think that they'll be saying, but it's what they're saying. It just bleeds you, man. It just bleeds. It bleeds you. It bleeds you. You sit there and you're crying, and the person is talking and you're crying, and not even thinking, is the person, is she well? Why is she crying and I'm not crying? So because you're a people person, it can get very carried away and it can get you into a lot of trouble because your heart, you follow your heart. And that's where my weakness is because I follow my heart. Sometimes when you hear people, you just...
And you know, Tex, that's true because my own relative told me one time, my cousin told me, he said, Doris, you are not Mother Teresa. You will not be able to help everyone or save everyone. So this is why I say I'm right there with you. I'm soft-hearted. If I see people on the television who lost a child or they lost, I'll be crying with them and I don't even know these people. And I'm crying long tears because I feel the pain, I feel the loss, and my heart goes out to them. So that I am definitely, I cry, and people, you know, people issue and problem and the suffering just breaks my heart, and I cry for those people that I don't even know. So that I know I'm definitely in that, you know, that person because I do it. Sometimes my cousin used to tell me, sometimes when they show you TV, he would say, look, I'm sure, watch what she cried. And it used to know me because I'll be watching something and if there is a sad something going on, I'll be crying. So I had a little cousin that time I was in New York. He'll be passing on the people and he say, watch, Doris crying. So, you know, I've been like that and at a very young age, not just now. It's just who I am. My heart goes out to people. I feel the pain. I feel sorry. And you're right. Sometimes people take your kindness for weakness and try to take advantage of you. So that's where that can be, you know, a touchy thing when you're so soft-hearted. Sometimes people try to use that weakness, you know, because they know you're kind, you're soft-hearted, you know, So,
and in the midst of being like that, the Lord is speaking at the same time. Back off, back off, back off. But he just does not back off because your soul just want to help the person. It's not everybody that cries. It's for us to run. Sometimes God allows certain things to happen so that we can get strong. Because remember, he said, when you're going through the storm, I'm there. And when you're going through this, I'm there. We have to understand that where the first question is, where were you? Where are you now? How are you doing at the present state? What have you been doing? Those are questions that we need to ask people when they say that this and this and this is happening. You sit down and you listen. You let them talk, 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 talk. You just let them talk. You listen, you listen, you listen. And then you listen to hear what they're not telling you. Like somebody maybe limping and you ask them, are you okay? And the person says, oh yeah, I'm fine. Trust me, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. And the word trust me means I'm really going through. So please stand and ask me some more. Is that what it is? Or if somebody says, oh, I'm fine. Just don't worry about it. I'm fine. That means please help me. Call somebody. I need help. I need help. That's what they actually say. So learn to hear words that you can help with, or if you see them and you know them and they suddenly change glasses from one glasses to the other glasses and they tie in up their head with long sleeve, you know that person in an abusive situation.
Yeah.
Because the head tie with the glasses is showing that there's issues somewhere here. Somebody hit somebody in their face and they don't want to share it out. But anytime you see people weighing their hair all down in front of them, and you're talking to them and they're watching you like that, which means they're going through depression or they have low self-esteem. Those are hint. If somebody is talking and you see they're going like this, and every sentence they make, they're going like this, you know they're lying to you.
and you know something, Tex, you're right. Is the people that need help that always say, oh, I'm okay, I'm fine. Are you sure you're okay? Yes, I'm okay. Is the ones that going through something and need help is the always one that keeps saying, no, I'm okay, I'm fine. Don't worry, I'm okay. So sometimes when people tell you they're okay or they keep saying I'm fine, you have to dig a little bit better and keep saying, say you're sure. And, pay attention, because I tend to know people who are not, but they keep saying, yeah, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm okay. But they're not.
Another thing, when you're passing and you say good morning to somebody or hi to somebody, don't just continue walking. Pause for a moment. Because like they really want to tell you something. If you pause and you really say, good morning, and you see the person pass, and then you just stop for a moment and you look back, you see they're watching you. All they have to do is to turn around and say, oh, hi. Well, the reason why I said good morning is like, my God, you look so gorgeous. And I didn't want to tell you how hot you look. So I'm just saying hi. But I really didn't mean hi. You really mean it? Girl, about 2 days ago, this happened and that happened, and the person will break down to you. I just came home here and somebody was down by the mailbox and I said, hi. And then the person said, I didn't see you in 2 weeks. I missed the hug. Can I just get a hug now? I said, but I'm busy. Yeah, just give me just half of the hug. so I give them a hug. People just love hugs. There's nothing wrong. Just hug somebody or tell somebody, I love you. Those are words that it touch people in places that you never know. Or if you see somebody pass by and they sad, just say, oh my gosh, you know how gorgeous you look hot. And hear the person say, I do. And they come from the home where people are accustomed saying to them, that you're putting on. And you tell them that, do you know how much you raise the level of self-esteem? Let us be our brother's keeper. and don't answer like Cain. Am I his keeper, or am I? Why? So why you ask? You know exactly what you just did. So let's befriend people. You don't have to take them home, but you can say hi to them. Just do like me. Oh, gorgeous! You look hot. Oh, God took his time with you. You see, they turn back and they smile. Thank you, thank you. But their face towards you coming was not smiling at all. And just say that. One time we was in the supermarket, and I told a guy, I said, "My God, you're handsome. God took his time with you." He said, "Hold on, where's my wife? I wish she was here to hear that. I wish she was here." Next time when I make 2 trips, I see the man and his wife. He said, "See, she told me." She said,
You know,
"How much time I tell him?" And he never believed a word that I say. "Thank you for telling them." I said, "Please, can I give him a hug?" She says, "Of course, hug him. Soon I'll be selling him." I said, "Okay, well, I can't buy him." So I give him a hug. Yeah. "Oh, Lord, thank you, Jesus." And she opened her eyes, knowing she was a Christian and he was not a Christian. And because he said that, she stood there. When we get to the cashier, because I left, I went down by the meat aisle, across by the pizza place, and then I come down. And when I come back up, like to go in the line, the both of them, I should just stand there just watching him. Why? Because he said, "Thank you, Jesus." You never know what you're doing when you see a couple in the supermarket or you see them in the mall. Just say hi to them. Go ahead, Doris.
but it's ironic that you said that, because the next thing I was going to say is, why do we as women afraid to tell a man that they're looking good, or they are handsome man? Because most time we look at a man, but and we say, "Oh my God, he's handsome. He look good," but we are afraid to compliment them because we're thinking what they might think or the wrong impression. So why are so many of us afraid, just like a lady, to say to them? But specifically, I think we are more telling a man, we are afraid to say you look good. If you look good or you're handsome, tell that man you look handsome. And then you said it. So I was like, wow, you must be
That's
reading
because
my
we're
mind.
thinking. That's what, and we're thinking that they're gonna think sex or they're gonna mean sex. But I go with a pure motive. You could think what you want. My motive, I'm to you. That's Listen. My husband could be with me, and I see. Bring it in, give me hugs, give me hugs, give me hugs, and the person gonna say, "Is that your husband?" Yeah. He says, don't worry, she do it to everybody. So it doesn't matter to me, because to me it's just pure. You see somebody, oh well, you look handsome today. Well, how you doing, sugars? It doesn't matter. Thank God for the husband that I have, that he don't judge me that way. Probably something is wrong with me. Probably I'm not developed in the mind. But I just see people as people. Just as how I'm innocent, just so people is innocent. That's what I think. And my husband says, "Okay, so something happened." Oh, I shouldn't say that. Okay, so I said, so the bell guy comes. So the bell guy says, "Call me and I can come back and fix it." So I told Nehemiah, he says, "No, the guy just want to give you Nehemiah's number." So I said, "Well, can I just call him and find out if that's," he said, "Ay." So he go, "Ay." I said to myself, "Is he think I'm stupid or something?" Because people don't think like that. Okay, so some people think like that, but not everybody in the world think carnal. Some people just have pure thoughts, like me. It's just a pure thought. When I first started to go to the African church, I tell everybody I love the man, woman. And one guy says, "But you're married. You don't. You can't tell me that you love me." I said, "Let me show you how." So I hug him. He said, "I'm married." I said, "That have nothing to do with me." "You're a Christian?" He said, "Yes." I said, "I'm a Christian." I said, "That makes us brother and sister." He said, yeah, but if I have to marry, I can marry to you. I said, see where you taking it? Don't ever come close to me again. Because I don't know. So my pastor have to tell them, that's just her personality. She will just tell you she loves you. She hugs everybody, men, women, and children. Don't take it personal. That's what she is. So I don't see like, probably somebody is watching out there and they says, no, lady, something is wrong with you. There are people out there with pure motive. It's not every man that you say, I love you, he will say, okay, so let's go to bed. No, it have people that just so genuine. And it's not everybody that have this carnal mind. It's not all about that. They're just ready to embrace you. They give you a hug. Tell people that you love them. That's why people are so carnal, because nobody tell them nothing. So the minute time they hear it, they say, oh, so that means love, that means sex. No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that I love you. It just means bring it in, give me hugs, give me hugs. They don't think. They don't think otherwise. That's a lie. It's a taboo.
But that's a custom. If you come from from a country or come from your own family where they said, well, if you hug somebody, it means your relationship with them. If you hug somebody outside, it means, something else. So it's a culture. It's a culture of where you're from and how they see a woman embracing a man. In a center, a man embracing without thinking something has more in it.
Mm.
So I'm just saying it's because you can go up to your family member and say you hug them, or you say you love them because that's family member. You can go to another family or extend it and give them a hug. I just mean it's a hug because something happened and they just hugging to embrace you. But to come to you out of the norm, I'm using the word norm because it's not culturally, everywhere accept that a woman just come and say, I love you. So if you come out of somewhere and enter into a church environment, as you said, and start to hug the men and tell them that the ladies, they're going to figure, is this lady, is she's not a part of her culture, one. She doesn't look like us, two. We never see it happen, three. That doesn't seem normal. So then let me find out who this person is. So they started check around to make sure that this sister is person is genuine, right? Or it's okay. So then that's where sometimes we need to let down our guards or let down that it's an individual thing. I believe it's an individual thing to see others so we can genuinely love as Christians. But that's take it another notch up, especially when they're married.
I think I take after my father. My father, see sugars, oh, you're looking, give me hugs, give me. That's my father. My father hug everybody, man, woman. My father hug everybody. You're looking handsome today, boy. You're looking, bring it in, give me a hug, give me a hug. My father hug everybody. My mother, on the other hand, will call you, hey, sweetheart, sugars. So that's where we get it from. So we grew up, my sisters, I'm saying the same thing. Don't talk for my brother. My brother is the same thing. He hugged everybody, whether the wife is there in front of him, in front of his face, in his eyes. And sugars, you're looking, give me hugs, just bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. So I think that's how we grow up. So to us, it's just a normal thing for us. But to other people, sometimes some people go through sexual abuse. Sometimes some people go through mental abuse as young children. So telling somebody that they love them could be very intimidating. Or hugging somebody could be, I don't know what they're going to do to me. So they have this fight, flight, constantly respond over their life. Rebecca?
I'm just listening to listening to what everyone's point of view. In terms of my temperament, are we still on that topic though?
Sort of. We're talking about hugs. And yeah.
No, but
temperament. Yeah.
Temperament, how people react. I wanted to talk about if you tell a gentleman he's handsome, to be honest, any woman tell a man that he's handsome, of course their mind is not gonna think normal. Oh shit. Because it's usually not the case. Women don't usually go out and tell a man, oh, you look handsome. It's
Where do you come from?
I don't know. For me, I mean, in my culture,
so good for you. Let's talk about you.
I've never seen that. In my culture, you could not tell Caribbean men they look handsome because their mind goes. But their minds go somewhere else.
It's a blanket statement. It's not all men. It's a blanket statement.
No, it's not all men. I'm talking about culturally.
No, you can't say that still. That's a blanket statement. So say for me, I am uncomfortable to say that to a man. That's all you gotta say.
I mean, I'm not really uncomfortable. I would do it because that's me. I would say, oh, that looks nice, I don't mind. But then I always, how do you say, have to keep my guard up, because most men, when I do it, they would say, oh yeah, so what's your name? What do you do? They start to go, I say, okay, I'm just giving you a compliment. I don't want to get into any conversation or stuff like that. They start taking, it's just that some men, probably not all, but from my experience, most of the time, they want to go further, they start talking and they're like, oh, so you know what, do you want to take my number? Yeah, so.
Okay. I don't know where those men are. They're not in Canada.
No, I mean, you won't, yeah, I don't think Canada, no, not Canada, but.
I go to the Caribbean all the time. I went to St. Lucia, a place that I've never been to. I do the same thing. I ain't get I have no numbers. What, could you take my numbers? Just one look you can give somebody and the intention of the second word just stop. Says what you prolong. Because I never, I'm come across that, because just one look I will give you, and the answer will be, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, talking about, love, and the thing about that, I think, talking in the Christian sense, you don't hear a lot of church discuss agape love and sexual love in the sense, because I didn't even really think about that or understand it until I heard a pastor talk about it, and says, not because, telling somebody you love them is not every time you say I love you, it's about sex. It's just agape love.
Yes,
you hug someone, you say I love you or you love me. That don't mean you want to go to bed with them, or in the meaning of personal thing. So I think a lot of people do not understand that. And it's something that even people in church never think about. In all the years I'm going to church, never heard a pastor discuss the difference in agape love and in a sexual way. So this is why you might hear some church people look at you crazy. And now Spanish people, they hug everybody. I walk around Spanish people, they hug everybody. They have to know you. They're gonna hug you. That's the culture, that's the personality, and that's the way of greeting people. And I've met so many of them. I don't know them, but they come and give you a hug like they know you all your life. So just so do you take that personal, men as women? No, it's just a culture. This is the way of showing that, they care and they start by hugging somebody. So I think, in the sense, I never thought about it that way too. In the, when somebody tell you they love you, a lot of people take it, oh, they love me. And they take it in a sexual way. But the person don't mean that. They're just telling you they love you because, that's their personality. And they want to make people know, somebody care about you. But a lot of people take it in the wrong sense. So if, awareness is probably spread out there in the churches and stuff, helping the congregation, especially the younger generation, as soon as a boy say, I love you, or somebody, a man tell them they love them, they take it and run with it.
Yeah. That's what they know. But we have to teach them. We have to teach them. My son loves everybody. Hey. You know I love you. Yeah. God. He says, "Ma, you tell everybody yeah, the same thing." I said, "Well, my mother was crazy. My my father was crazy. So you have to you understand. I grew up with psychotic people. That's the reason why I say it. But then now it doesn't work for me. Tell everybody. So give me a hug, then. Give me a hug. Boy, you married now. You have to teach your wife to say that. Then you can hug. So it's a good it's a good way to think. Just think pure. Like it's not everybody that comes to hurt you. Give them a chance.
And if you really think about, I think the next, it's a culture that keeps saying shalom. Always they said shalom.
Yeah.
And a shalom means sometimes they'll hug you. And I remember my daughter came one day, she said, Mom, these people, she said where she was, they really know how to love people. They always express it in a hug and they say shalom, and they always express it in such a way. We don't express it as a lot among us. And I said to her, well, it's not everybody comfortable in doing that. They're saying it in many ways, but they may not showing it by the hug, but sometimes they say it or they would respond to you. But I believe that we show it in different ways, although we don't say that word. And saying that, I ponder on that for a minute and I say, we may not able to can say that word, I love you, or to come across to say, or hug you. But I think in some ways we do share it. We do say that in a subtle way. Sometimes we do say that. But as I said, not everybody expressly come to you and embrace you or say to, the individual. And I'm talking about in Christian setting as well as in friendship setting, or in a church or just outside. Sometimes we don't, but it's something that we should embrace, because you're going to find it's good for us and it's healthy for the younger um, adults growing up. Even if it's best to start from our home, to bring that comfort level, to know that everyone is in the home is appreciated and respected, and started from the home. As we talk about personality wise, we can start it from there individually, although we may have different personality, but we can come to the place where we appreciate each other from the home by hugging them. If they dress that day, say, wow, you look pretty good today. Wow, you look handsome today. Just express those good qualities that we see from our home. That's when we take it out, we can express to others without have to mean anything. And them in return, the family members or so, can say themselves, you know what, it's just a part of who I am, without thinking of personality wise, but just come to a place of saying, you look good, or you look handsome, or I love you, or hug you. And that's something that we need to embrace again as Christians again, and as families, and as going out and just express that to somebody. How are you today? Love you, or God love you. Just to bring that back to be in touch with our individual surroundings, and to bring that in again to the church, so that it's not something that seems, when somebody hug you, this seems kind of strange, or why is this person doing this, or could it lead to anything? You start thinking things outside the box, when it's only an embracement of love, you know. So that's something we should begin again in our family setting, and continue in the church, and continue to carry it out. So wherever someone is and they hear somebody saying hi, hello, or greet them, it's give them a bright day or upliftment, but at the same time you don't need it to mean anything behind, somebody saying that to you. So just an encouragement to see when somebody say that to you, don't add anything to it. It's just somebody's just expressing their genuine self to you, to say, I love you, or you're looking good, and embrace you. So that's something positive we need to take back from where it was lost, and bring it back again into true reality. and that it can be given to family in the church, as well as personality-wise. So that's a part of us. I just want to share that, so others may know it's genuine.
Yeah.
I think Sister Antoinette is the same as, like, if you read a lot of Paul epistles, you notice the kind of compassion he had for the church. He would say, "I greet you in the love of Jesus Christ," and so they cared. So it seems to me that kind of connection is missing. And now even with COVID, it's even worse, because sometimes I find when we go back to church, when the church is shut down for a period of time, you go back, everybody is like, okay, they just sit down. Nobody comes and hug. Oh, I haven't seen you. How things? That doesn't happen anymore. And this is not big churches. This is small churches.
You can't say that. You just got done there. You can't say that.
Huh?
You can't say that. When you're speaking about like things like people, you're understanding, don't spread a blanket, because it's not everybody. And you can't say it happened in the small churches, because you have never been to all the small churches. So say, in this particular area, I find this happen, or this particular area I find. So if you widen it, it tells me that you went all over all the churches and you find that problem. And if you go in every single church and you see that problem, then the problem is not the church. The problem is what you interpret, what you see it. So I want for you to start using words like,
In general.
I realize, yeah. Because when you do that, you're given, even though your scale is wide, you're still bringing it home close. So people would not say, well, why are you saying the word all? No, it's not all, and it's not everybody. Seldom and some people. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, I just wanted to let you know. I'm so sorry.
No, you're right. You're right. And sorry, it's so funny. It's something I did learn when I was doing psychology. My professor used to tell me, from your experience. So thanks for letting me know. Yeah. So I guess maybe from what I'm seeing is at the current is that I would love to see more, because again, God has given me a gift of compassion. So I would love to see that more. I love to know about people. My personality is like, I would just take what I have in my house and give someone, like I'm like Mother Teresa. But I thank God is dealing with me in that area where it's people are telling me, Becky, why don't you go and help them? I said, no. Not everybody that, that is going through stuff that you have to help them. So, like I said, it's good to know that, sorry, what am I going to say? That it's true that you cannot look at it in a general sense, looking at it as just what it is within that situation. So from what I've been seeing, but I would love to see it more, that people can really, just as the old-fashioned way of saying, how are you doing? How are things? How things are going. Do you need any help? I feel from my experience, I don't see that happening.
Okay. So this is a pandemic season. So in this season is totally different. This season is not like 2018 period. This season is high panic, high stress, everybody running, nobody wants to get sick. So we have to understand the season that we are in. So if I go to a new church and nobody say hi to me, I cannot take it personal. Or if I take it personal, that means that I lack knowledge, because I know the season. If you go to church and you have a mass and somebody is sneezing, sneezing was there all the time. People, that was there all the time. But it's just that this season now, everybody, if somebody do that, you're like, huh? Somebody cough. Is that COVID? Like, because of the season. This season is very panicky. And it's not COVID, it's Omicron, whatever Trump that's going on. Now, people is panicked because I would not tell you if I have COVID because you're in a different country. But if you're here close to me and say, listen, since yesterday I wake up, I'm not feeling well, so I want you to wear your mask. Please get some Vicks, some vapor rubs, rub yourself down, be careful, wait, stay home and stay safe like for 7 days. If you find that you're getting worse, go get it checked and make sure that, it's not the Omicron or it's not COVID, right? But when you're in a different country, it's totally different. You're far away, so it's totally different. Like that's not your business. Because in this season, people afraid to cough. Like you're there and you're stifling and you you just want to cough. We have people with asthma. We have people with hay fever. The climate now is changing. A lot of people now is coming down with fever. Why? Because it's the season change. Yeah, we're going from winter into spring. Some days it's just warm. Like yesterday it was warm. Today it's not that warm. And then you may go to church on Sunday and it's cold, and a child may start coughing. It doesn't mean that the child have COVID. It means that the child probably have hay fever, or they drink some water and it's kind of, the old people say, oh, it went down the wrong throat, as though we have 15 of them down there. So we just got to be careful of how we treat people that is close to us. Some people may never tell you that they have it, and think, well, okay, if I come to church, then I can call the pastor on the phone. But if I come to church and I can get him to pray for me, you can't do that because you're putting everybody else in jeopardy. So just word of wisdom. That's why they often say, do the check-in, check, wear your mask. Even though by the end of the month here, I think it's on the 18th, they say that we don't have to wear masks. But like my pastor was saying, and he's so right, because we come into church and we're going to be sitting there for a long period, it's advised still wear your mask. That's just basic common sense, because somebody may come in and because, okay, they said don't wear mask, so everybody just suddenly take off the mask. You don't know if some people pass and get something, pick up something somewhere, they don't know. And they come and they say, I'm going to watch them and say, Miss Oliver, we got to go. And then she's going to ask, why? Because we just got to go. And she said, what? So what happened? I said, I don't know, we just going. Like the both of us, we going. And then she said, well, I don't see the reason why, we should go. Let's sit for a minute and calm down. Let's evaluate. I don't have to evaluate. I'm here to cough. And I'm saying, because the thing is, have you been around anybody who was coughing? Then I'm going to say yes. I'm in lockdown for 7 days. That's why you see, I love her so much because she calms me down a lot. I was like a wild child. She worked on me. She really do. God had her to calm me down a lot. So I'm a lot. My God, I come a long way. And for when I say something, I expect everybody just move. We move it, everybody's gonna move. But she would say, so let's evaluate the situation. Just calm down. And she would look around. And I'm saying to myself, are you gonna get up? No, are you gonna go now? Isn't it time for us to get out of here? And said, well, I didn't hear anything, so let's wait a while. And I'm saying, but I heard it twice, so hey, you want to wait? Yeah, let's go. That's me. On high panic now, I just want to get out. But with her, so I've learned now when I have to say something to her, I got to make sure that I'm not going with a sense of panic, or I'm going highly stressed. I calm down, I take some deep breath, and then I talk to her. Because that's how she operates. She operates in calm. I operate on flight and fight response. I'm an extrovert. What do you expect from me?
But Mommy Tex, I'm so surprised.
Yeah? Oh yeah, she's very, very, very calm. She will calm you down. Like she wouldn't teach you, but she will make you. She would say, well, we can evaluate it. So she will tell you in such a calm way that even your head don't want to respond, your body just automatically respond. Because I'm a fight person. This happened. Oh, I gotta get out of here. I just gotta run. I gotta go. I have no time for this. I gotta go. But no, she's just. It's okay.
Yeah, I think I'm the same.
Let's evaluate the situation. That's okay. Evaluate it. By the time we finish, all of us dead inside you. So no, I don't have that attitude anymore. I just probably I hear something else or somebody else cough. So just take it easy. And that's how I learned from her. Doris?
Mm. Well, I don't, I don't know much else what to say about, all of that. I can, I say everybody's different. I myself, now that you're saying all of that, I need to learn myself what I am and my traits. Because I never really look into it, I know that I'm a compassionate person. I'm very understanding. Now, patience is one of my good virtues. Patience, understanding, I'm very good at that. So I'm very passionate, towards other people's problems, listening to them. I'm a good listener. I would listen to people and I would give them the best advice that I can, because I don't like for anyone else what I don't like for myself. So if I can give them good advice, I'll say, I really don't know what to tell you, and I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. But I won't lead people down the wrong road. It's just who I am. I always tell myself, I think I am unique, special, and different to many, many because of my way of how I see things, my understanding towards other people's problems and issue, and putting myself in their place and asking myself, would I like that for me? Would I do that? And I wouldn't advise anybody or encourage them to do anything that I wouldn't do, or I wouldn't give people any advice that would be harmful to them. So, I think from my upbringing growing up, the values that my grandparents taught me, have always followed me, that stayed with me. And I grew up that way. I have never let, one of the things I've never let life problems, things people done to me, hamper or change my attitude toward other people. Try to be spiteful, try to seek revenge, because at the end of the day, it's not worth it. Because what you do, you waste that time and good energy trying to do that. And what does it do for you? This is why we say, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his own soul? So somebody harm me, I'm going to waste my time when I could do something constructive, something to inspire and help somebody, trying to hurt them or trying to play tit for tat. I don't render evil for evil. It's not worth it. It's not worth your peace of mind. It's not worth anything like that. So, I've learned and a lot of people don't understand me because they would wonder, well, this person said that to you or about you, or this person did that to you. So why you still talk to them? Or can you still talk to them? So they can't understand that. But that's just because I have my inner peace. I know that it's not worth that, because when somebody does that, that means they don't know better. So if I act like them, what makes me any better than them? So I wouldn't go down that road, and that's just who I am. It's just me. I'm not going to let nobody change me. My mindset, how I see things, how I do things, whether somebody wrong or right, I understand them, and I will try to help them to change that way or to do better. You can't make them do it, but you can give them advice. You could lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink it. But at the end of the day, you've done your part. You did what you were supposed to do, and you tried to help them. Now, if that person don't want to accept that help, change their way or see it different, then there is nothing you can do about that. But you feel good that you do the best that you can.
Dora, I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because I never realized one thing is that I know that I'm very authentic. I know that I'm very unique. But when people have, like, try to affect me or say something mean, it will bother me. But the thing is, I will still always be Rebecca. Like if I begin to seek vengeance, and it's like it's out of my character. It's not part of my DNA. And and maybe because I've walked with the Lord for such a long time, and been comfortable with His presence. But for me to say that I'm gonna seek vengeance, and that tells you too that the love of God is not in you, because the Spirit of the Lord in you is gonna clash. There's gonna be a big clash. So if you begin to seek vengeance and you get angry, it's like it's something is off. And I noticed with me too that if somebody tries to affect me or say something, I would get angry, and sometimes I feel, and then I say, God, I don't like this feeling. I don't like it. I don't like this feeling, because it's not who I am. Who God says that I am is, loving, kind, and wonderful. But if you don't have the Holy Spirit in you, I don't think people are able to, the Spirit of the Lord have to stay. Listen, you're out of character. That God will say, if you say that, it's gonna, don't say that. It's just automatic. Even if you became a Christian as a baby, it's just an automatic thing. For me, I feel, I don't want to generalize, I'm trying to get away from that, but for me, I feel that it becomes natural, that when the Spirit of God is in you and you're living in Him and you're having your being, His presence is joy, is peace. It's almost suicidal to think that I rather go this way. I don't know, and nothing that way. It's almost, how do you say, it's like what is good, the peace, the joy, but you're gonna forfeit it for that feeling. Does that make sense?
No.
I know I'm using very extreme words.
Anger is a natural response.
But vengeance is a choice.
Vengeance is a choice, but depends on what vengeance are you talking about.
So what I'm saying is, you see, Doris was saying, I am not going to become like them and do all of those things. The world now, they don't have the Holy Spirit in them to say, I'm going to go and pull that chair away from her so she can fall down. If you're a Christian and you're going to go and do something like that, that means you have to evaluate what spirit is within you. Because you cannot go and pull someone's chair. That if you pull the chair off, they can break their neck or they can die. So okay. What I'm saying is, once you have the Spirit of God in you and Jesus Christ, His love, His compassion, His peace, and then all of a sudden someone do something to you and you want to take vengeance. We're angry is of course, Jesus kicked everybody out to the temple. He get angry. But it's when we sin, I just feel, out of a fish out of water. I feel very strange, and I panic because I am so used to God's love.
Okay. So, number one, I'm gonna forgive you. Number two, I just want to let you know that I have a stone for you. So, when Jesus was in the temple and He was ministering, it's not like though He was sitting there. And this was a forewarned, so He warned them before. Even Paul get to that stage, he warned the people because he was trying to teach them about the word of God and teach them. And they just keep doing the same thing. And he said, but who bewitched you? It's not like though He meant vengeance. He just got to a place of frustration. So you got to define the word vengeance and frustration. Now, if a person say, well, you know what? I'm going home, and when I come back is what I wouldn't do. No, that's premeditation murder. That's what you call revenge. But when you're in the circle at the moment, something happened, you flare up, you say what you have to say, you calm down. But if you're going to go and come back, that's where the revenge is taking place. But at the moment time, you may just kick the person, like the person wants to sit down, you just kick the chair. A nonsense person, and you kick the chair. That's just you reacting to what they say. That's a natural response. That's what the Bible says. Be angry, it's okay, just don't sin. Calm yourself down, calm down, calm down. But when you say, what is you go home? And there's the person is plotting and planning. That's what you call first-degree murder, because you sit down there and you plot and plan about it. Yeah? But anger and fear is a natural response. Minister Olivet, and then we close. If anybody have anything to say, let me know.
I just want to, be an encourager today to let us know that we all have our own individual personality. And as we grow in the Lord, as we grow, we believe that we will see areas in our lives where we need to surrender to the Lord, continue to grow in the Lord. So those areas are not holding us back from who we really is. And at the same time, grow in the love of God so that our personality can be very effective in reaching others. And at the same time, we can encourage others and let others see the light in us. Because as we grow in Christ, we become like him. And then we see ourselves flowing in different areas in our personality so that others will not see, they will see Christ in us and come to know the Lord Jesus Christ. Because at the end of the day, he created us uniquely, wonderfully and fearfully made. And as we grow, we can become transparent so others will see Christ in us and come to know the Lord Jesus Christ. So it's great that all of us, when Jesus had the 12 disciples, they were not the same. Each of them were individual, and Jesus stood with them and poured into them so that they could have taken the gospel to the nations. We is the same. We come and we minister and we are receiving the gospel. We are then accepting the Lord Jesus Christ, the Lord and Savior, and we are growing in him. So as we continue to grow in every area of our life in him, as we surrender those areas to him completely, he will transform us, and your personality will be beneficiary wherever he places you, because that's where you're going to flow the most, because that's where he needs you to be. So your personality is individual, and where you are, he loves it just where you are, and you can grow where you are, and others will see you and see Christ in you. So I want to say our personality is unique. We're individual, and as Jesus loved his disciples, he also loves us the way we are. So the more we grow to know who we are in him, it's so beneficial to us and to the kingdom. I just want to share that this afternoon with us.
Amen. Becky, you have anything to say before we close?
Not at the moment, but I'm just grateful for the topic that was shared, and there's some things that I will have to work on personally on for myself, for my personality, especially the panicking side. So thanks so much again for sharing and enlightening me on some areas that I need to work on.
We all do that, trust me, we all need that.
Yeah.
We all need that, because I am working, but having Minister Antoine on my side, I have a faster pace of learning. If me by myself, then I will tend to, I don't have to get rid of that. That's just who I am. No, it's not. We can get rid of the things that would cause others to look at us different. When you have somebody that is accountable, you live that authentic life, because the person know you and they know that's not you. You're going out of character. So they will talk to you about it. Especially when they love you, they'll correct you. But for people who don't care, you do what you want. Yeah? Doris?
Well, today's program was a good program, hearing everybody's views on different things. I've learned a lot. There are things that I need to learn about myself that I never really looked into. or think about. So, it's always good to learn new things and continue to learn, because each day we find something new or learn something new about ourselves. And we are never too old or too young to learn from others. So I have a lot, and I enjoyed the program today, hearing all that and learning so much different things and views about life and things.
So I brought up one of my thing here that I did. So if you guys can text me an email address, I can send some documents for you, and you just go on it and just read it. Just read it. Yeah, it's healthy to read. So thank you everybody for coming up, and those of us that's all on the GemFM page or Facebook page or even Radio Land. Those of us that's there, we give God praise and thanks, and thank you for being here with us, supporting us in this program. And I hope that you get to learn something about yourself today. Find out who you are, and then let's work together so we can become better people to serve people better. Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah. So we're gonna say bye. We're gonna make Veronica is not here. We're gonna make the sign anyway. And then we're gonna catch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mwah!
Mwah.
Cuckoo, 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 Veronica. Cuckoo. So tell her that we did it today. Love you guys and thank you for being here. This is Tex Manwarin on the Talking and the Tex Talk Manwarin show.
Love you guys.
Here. Yeah, so we're gonna see today is Friday. Woohoo! So I have an off day. I'm going to do some dancing all by myself here. Happy birthday, sing happy birthday to myself and dance to my happy birthday. Love you guys.
Love you too.
Mommy, don't forget to check your phone. I send you a gift.